July 15th, 1793. I've been here 5 days. 5 days too many. Some of the last I'll ever know, but already the worst. I have nothing left but to count off the time, to look back at what's gone. There's only a bleak hope now, something I can barely keep alive. Even as it is, I could say everything, anything I wanted. But what's there that still matters? There's only obscure facts I don't even really understand, that I never wanted to, but that I have to try to just the same. There's a timepiece, set off in some courtyard I've never seen. I hear it striking every hour, insistent, like death tapping away impatiently, waiting for his moment to visit. It always comes through the loudest when he's at the scaffold. You get to know things by the sound, even what you can't see. This is a place of regularities. There's always a lull before the executions, when everyone's pensive and they murmur final prayers while their minds are still quiet enough to let them. The first cells empty break the quiet. It's human desperation, sobbing women and children, dispirited men, the damned drowning in delirium. Something I understand to be afraid of, yet something I wish I could ease for them just the same. If I could only let myself remember, my freedom's been taken too. If it was for me to decide, France wouldn't be as it is, or even as it was. She was wrong both ways. More so now, though, with the revolution. We thought they'd only bend against our monarch. A few of the aristocracy, even. But then it was the loyalists, too. Then anyone who wouldn't stand with them, who was against what they were for. Now there's no prestige left to blame anymore. So the revolutionaries are turning on themselves, on their own caste and kin. They said they wanted liberty, equality, fraternity. But to get this, they have to betray their own principles? They're only succeeding in massacring themselves and everyone else. Something they've yet to end.
Are you all right?
No.
What happened? You're not hurt, are you?
Not in any way you could help.
Then what's wrong?
Just an announcement from the child.
Just an announcement?
The ones from yesterday.
Did you know someone?
Him.
Andre Soule.
We are engaged.
How long?
3 months. But he'll be dead in 3 days.
I really am sorry.
Doesn't everyone say that?
You know, that's not a very common name. Soule.
No, it isn't.
I met Monsieur Soule once. His name wasn't Andre, though.
Jean-Claude.
Yes. At least that sounds right. It was in Caen, just a ways from Normandy.
When was this?
Not too long ago. A couple months, I think. He said he was trying to bypass Paris. Sort of a long ways around, I thought. He looked a lot like all the rest of the immigrants.
How do you know this?
I listened. Probably more than I should have. He said he was trying to go north. Not to Normandy, though. He wanted to go where it bordered land. He was trying to find his chaise. This man kept reading off his passport, talking about his name. Monsieur Soule was going on about how he was in a hurry and couldn't wait. I told him I could find him his chaise to Paris. He didn't like that. That's when he said he'd rather go around. Not that I blamed him for it.
You're not from Paris.
No, I've been in Normandy mostly.
Then why are you here?
I didn't choose to be. I just have to.
Nothing with the law, I hope.
No, nothing like that.
Are you looking for someone?
No. Well, sort of. I was just really curious. I know I shouldn't be. It's never had anything anybody's wanted to see.
No. It's not fair! I don't understand why things have to be this way.
We never really do.
It's wrong. It's wrong.
Is this what we're coming to? We have no one left, so we have to turn to strangers?
He won't listen to you.
The justice wouldn't be where he is if he didn't trust his officers.
This is a little much, though.
We'll see.
He won't like it.
Has he ever liked anything we've had him do?
This is different, though, if it's not done right.
Some chances have to be taken. We didn't start a revolution, so we can still sit beneath someone else.
I wouldn't trust an officer. Not here.
But they know a judge.
All officers do. That doesn't make them any better.
I didn't come here to hide.
I'm not saying you should.
It's a chance. Probably the last they'll have.
Don't you think you can change anything? It's like you said, they don't listen.
Maybe they will for once.
They won't listen, because they can't hear what they don't want to.
Jean-Claude Celli, my father. I still remember reading about his trial. The court said he was a loyalist. It was the only thing he couldn't ever prove was a lie. They used the same for me, or rather she did. Constance Mentor, married too young and widowed just as early, left with only a daughter and no means of support. Her husband's brother, my father, had saved them from the streets. My father had always felt sorry for what had happened to Constance. She had no one else besides us. So after a while, my father decided he would arrange for her daughter Therese and I to marry. My father always told me it was charity, something he felt was only right to do. But then, there was the revolution. It was like a chasm opened between us, with my father and I on one side and Constance and Therese on the other. Constance fell in with the revolutionaries while my father and I didn't. The whole idea of a revolution was wrong, is still wrong. What right did anyone have to go against their own monarch, to try and take up something that they could never handle? There was no reason to rebel. So what place did my father and I have with people who thought there was? If we didn't want a revolution, why would we support anyone who did? We could only feel betrayed. We'd given Constance everything, and now that the lines were drawn, she was standing against us. My father gave no second chances. He ended the engagement and sent both Constance and her daughter away. At the time, though, it only made sense that that was how it should be. The revolution was gaining momentum. Constance was caught up in a surge of uprisings in Paris. There was nothing there for Therese, though. She didn't want a part to play in something that could never be right for her. They said it was just all too much, that she hadn't been strong enough to handle what the world kept placing on her. She'd already been broken by disappointment. All it took was for society to fall apart. By the time Constance realized she was dying, there was nothing to be done.
Madam, please help me. My daughter, please. Please, madam, my daughter, she's dying. I need your help, please. Please, anybody, please help me. Madam, please help me, my daughter, please. Jean-Claude, you don't know how happy I am to see you. It's Therese. I don't know what's wrong with her. She must have been getting sick and I didn't even see it. Please come with me. Please. Don't you understand? She'll die. I'll die without her.
I'm not doing anything.
No. What do you mean?
You had me.
Please, Jean-Claude.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm not with you.
You don't mean that. You don't mean that. Please.
Why should I want to have to do with something with someone like you?
It's not about me. It's her.
I don't care about her, and I don't care about you.
This was your son.
Well, it isn't. And it never will be. My son's not weak.
Please, you don't mean that. She never did a thing to you and you know it.
But you did. You turned off Andre on me. You threw yourself within those traitors who call themselves revolutionary.
You can't hold that against her. Not with something like this.
This is revolution. People die every day, don't they?
But you don't understand. She's the last thing I have to hold on to. Without her, there's nothing else left for me.
Then you really will have nothing.
Please, please. What am I supposed to do? She died.
Why should I care about that?
I'll do anything, I swear to God. I'll do anything. You just have to help me.
What's happened?
She's died. She's died and we won't come.
Who?
Therese. It's Therese.
Now you listen. I'm not doing a thing. You hear me? Not for you.
But you can't just walk away.
He's right. You can't. Please, I'll die. I'll die if I lose her.
Then I expect you'll both give my regards to the devil when you meet him. No! You're not to touch her. You're not to even look at her. Do you understand? Do you understand? Answer me!
Yes, Father.
You shouldn't value what's not yours. Besides, why should you care for some wretch?
Andre, please, you can't let this happen. You just can't.
Yes, he can. And he will.
Damn you! Damn you both!
Didn't you hear what I just said?
You may not value what's not yours, but I do.
What happened? What's happened?
Oh God, I'm so sorry. We ran for the doctor. We did as quick as we could, but not quick enough. I really am sorry. There was nothing I could do. He was already gone when I got here.
No! No! No!
By the time I came, Therese was already dead. There was nothing I could do, nothing I could think to say. So I just watched. She never even knew I was there. In her anguish, Constance blamed my father for what had happened. His refusal to help her had killed Therese. He'd done everything short of the act itself. And I was just as much to blame as he was. We'd let Therese die. Hadn't even offered condolences afterward. Of course, my father just dismissed everything she said. It was the first moment Constance had ever wanted vengeance for anything. She ached for it, and it consumed her.
Not now, I don't have time.
Monsieur,
Oh, a moment's peace, is that too much to ask for?
Monsieur, I need to talk with you.
Can't this wait?
I'd rather it not.
Your Honor.
Your Honor.
Does half the city want me then?
Very amusing, Your Honor.
It's only 3 people. Oh, I see.
Excuse me, miss. I'm gonna have to ask you to wait outside. I always give my officers priority. It'll only be a few minutes. Now, what's the point in having officers if they can't do what they're supposed to?
Your Honor.
You saw that woman that was just here? How did she get in?
Well,
I think you'd want to be more careful with something like that. Or did you forget about Marita already?
She's just a woman, though.
Just a woman? And isn't Marita dead because of just a woman?
It won't happen again.
Now what is it?
The court date trial.
You mean the questioning? It won't be an official trial until tomorrow. But what about it?
It's beginning in an hour.
You're not here to look after me. Though I can see it's thought that I need reminding.
Not you specifically, no.
It's merely procedural.
As of when? Unless there's more to it?
Etienne and myself have been looking into things.
Things? What kind of things?
Mostly the trials going on in affairs. We've paid special attention to Charlotte Corday's case, though. It would seem that the whole city's rather interested in, if not the whole country.
Only because of Marita. What's there to tell that I haven't already heard?
We discovered that Monsieur Robespierre will be present during the questionings in the trial.
Robespierre? I didn't expect that. Not from him. Didn't know he cared about Marita.
He cares for the trial, at least. Though I'm sure all the public figures are a little on the edge.
Marita wasn't quite public, though, was he? Spent all his time pent up in rat holes and sewers.
Well, at least now we know why.
Yes. Keep away from people who didn't like him.
Yes. Although I never think he expected it to be a woman, that it would be a woman who finally finished him off.
Yes. It's very unlikely. But we'll have to see how the trial goes. We'll have to hope that Monsieur Robespierre will be pleased.
Your Honor, this is important.
You think I'm not aware?
You shouldn't let yourself be inattentive.
Am I ever?
I doubt you'd appreciate my full sincerity.
I'm sure I can take whatever you have to say.
Well, there's always the infrequent occasion.
Which are frequently occasional.
What? You wouldn't care to say that again, would you? No? Then let me guess what kind of inferences you were making.
None. It was barely banter.
Yes. No, don't lie to me. I know what you were talking about, Constance.
No, I would never.
That's what it's about. I know it. I know it.
You'll have to excuse him. He likes to talk without thinking.
I do not.
Yes. I guess I can't blame a lesser mind. Though I'm sure even a lesser mind can stand outside a door and watch just a woman.
You're still not uneasy about her, Your Honor.
Why shouldn't I be? I'm sorry, Gustave. I can be quite irritable sometimes. It's the occupation. It does things. It gets on your nerves.
I just think you should be careful with the trial.
You've mentioned that already. And what's to be concerned for? I'm only assisting. Montanet is heading the whole thing. You know I don't like when people are being indirect with me.
You realize the significance of who Robespierre is. I know you do. Who better to curry a favor with? It would advance us all considerably.
So you can reap the rewards of my success?
I'm being blunt with my motivations. Why should I lie? But imagine what it could do for you. You do things right, you could be heading for the tribunal. You could be leading. Constance wants you to do great things. I know she does. You'd be doing wonders for this country.
Montanet is not just a judge, though.
I know what he is. Fortresses aren't impenetrable, though. Murat shows that. Now, I'm not saying you go and test any boundaries. I just think you should consider it. If Montanet can be great, you can be greater. You can have the whole justice system in your hands.
But that would be usurpation.
Only if you make it that. You've known me, Francois. You've known me for 15 years.
Yes, 15 years inside the law. You've helped me get to where I am, and let your own career fail for the while.
I wouldn't be telling you this if it wasn't in your best interest.
Yes. Then we'll have to make a special effort as to Monsieur Robespierre. Now, I think you've kept me long enough, haven't you?
Your Honor.
You should be careful what you say. If it would have been anybody else, it'd been both our heads.
I'm not worried about it. The justice can't help how he is. All he needs is a little push. And once we have our way with him, all we need is Constance's influence on him, and we'll have whatever we desire. He's enough of a fool not to realize he's being made use of.
I still don't think this will play out the way you say.
And I'm sure you thought the revolution would fail, too.
Charlotte Corday, to be tried with the assassination of Jean-Paul Marat. Ah, Marat, my old friend. What's this world coming to? A woman! A woman! The most influential journalist in all of France, brought down by a woman. The prisons will suffer without you. There'll be conspiracies and traitors, and we'll have to find them for ourselves. As for me, what's a justice to do when there's none to condemn? Marat, you were a good friend. I'll miss you for it.
I see the way people look at me, like I'm some sort of monster. Now and then I wonder if I am. They say I can't feel. Maybe I don't. Even I'm not so sure sometimes. I killed without regret. I'm still not sorry for it. That makes me wonder too. I can't even say what kind of person I am. I just don't know anymore. But somebody had to see it through, make sure he was dead. Marat was a demon. Anyone could have known that if they'd only looked. That would make Paris blind. At least Normandy wasn't. He deserved to die. It was one life for thousands. Nothing more than that. One life for thousands. The thousands he had already killed and the thousands he would have had killed. No one here will believe me. I know the court won't. They're just like Marat. They think the more people that die, the better off the revolution is. They just don't know that they're wrong. It's been 2 days since it happened. The details are burnt into my memory like some horrid nightmare. It's confused, unreal. I still don't feel like I've woken up yet. First, there was the woman at the door. It was night by then. I'd already been there that morning, but she'd said Marat was ill and wouldn't see anyone. She didn't tell me to come back, but I did. She had the same look then as she had before, as if she knew why I was really there, what I was going to do. I told her I'd sent Monsieur a letter. I had. She asked him about it and I was let in. Everything after that is distorted. I remember hating to look at him. It scared me. I was stammering names, anything to keep him writing, keep him from looking. I didn't want to see his face when I did it. I probably would have run if I had. I couldn't even feel myself trying to move. It's like there's nothing there to remember. He was writing, and then he was dead. It's like I never saw myself do it.
Jean, you murdering wretch!
Then there were people everywhere, some of them off the streets, others from adjacent houses. They were faceless shapes moving back and forth, women sobbing and men screaming. There was a point that one of the men was shouting at me, trying to say something. I never heard what he said. I never heard what any of them said. I didn't even see what was going on until much later.
I'll kill you. I swear. Manchad.
Don't you tell me you hear!
Who are you to tell us what we can't do?
She's mine. That is the officer I'm...
An officer? Do you think I'm blind?
No, that's not what I meant.
You're just some horrid rat. Think if you climb out of a hole and do what you want. Say anything. You wouldn't be defending her. You were a part of this too.
I'm not though. Please, I don't want to.
Liar! You're a damn liar. You're not better than she is. Standing there like she hasn't done a thing.
I never said she hadn't.
I'll kill her.
No.
Move away. God, I'll kill her.
All of you. Do what you want then. Show us the officer how well you can kill them.
What's happened? Monsieur, he's dead. Marat's dead. Where is he? Here. It was her. This one here.
You killed him? Is that how it was? You murdered him? Answer me!
She just won't say it. She knows. She knows what she did.
A man's dead and you can't answer?
Answer her.
Do you know who Marat is? Do you know what his death means?
Yes.
What? Yes. Then tell me how this happened.
She doesn't want to even see it. She can't even face what she's done.
Look. Well, I have nothing to say. A man's dead and you have nothing to say?
Later, it all started to make a little more sense. I'd killed him, though I didn't remember doing it. There were people outside the house, just waiting. Even if I could have left, I wouldn't have wanted to. They'd have killed me. So I had to wait too. I wasn't even looking and I could see his face behind me. Dead. Haunting. And then the woman, Simone. All I could hear was her crying. Her crying and nothing else. I only remember saying one thing.
Well, that's it then. She's admitted it.
Why should she tell us something she already knows?
It's enough to condemn. It's all that matters.
We'll have to watch the crowds, though I doubt we'll even get her out of the house.
Not that it would matter whether she's alive or not, just as long as we bring her in.
As long as we bring her in.
Why? Why did she have to take me from us? Why couldn't she see who you really were? Behind everything you did. And maybe you'd still be here. I wouldn't be alone.
Charlotte,
What have I done?
listen to me, please.
I killed him.
Charlotte, no!
No, don't you understand? It was me. I did it. I killed him. Now they'll kill me.
Well, let's not keep them waiting.
God, you can't take her out there with all those people. They'll tear her to pieces.
That's none of your concern.
He was a hero to them. Now he's their martyr. Sometimes I doubt whether it's even right for me to defend myself. I knew murder was wrong. My father had raised me to be against it. But what Marat did was worse. His writing drove an entire society to commit atrocities. He told them who should live and die, and they believed him. He killed countless numbers, without remorse, with just words, each line its own damnation. I only killed one. Yet they'll condemn me and not him. How is that fair? I still wonder what my father will think. I'm sure he knows by now. Franklin probably knows too. He'd said he loved me. I doubt he still would if he knew about this. This wasn't something they would have wanted for me. It was my decision to make, though, and I did what I thought was best. I still can't say if it was worth doing. I won't live long enough to know, but I hope to prove that it was.
Your Honor?
Oh, so you've come back. I hoped you would. I'm sorry if I was a bit short with you earlier. It's just things have to run a certain way, and well, I'm sure we can all be a bit irritable sometimes. Yes, there wasn't anything against you, Mademoiselle...
Mallory, Your Honor. Elizabeth Mallory.
Mallory? As in unhappy? You can't be serious.
It's what I am, monsieur.
Well, I'm delighted. And what do I owe this honor?
I need to ask you about something.
Oh, yes, anything.
I need you to know this is important.
Of course, everything's important today.
Well, it's just that I don't really know how to start.
I'm in no hurry.
It's about one of the trials I read about in this announcement. The ones from yesterday.
God, this didn't come to you like this, did it?
It just didn't last the way here.
Obviously not.
It's that one, the trial mentioned there.
Which?
Entree Solace.
Yes, that was yesterday. No, what did you say your name was?
Elizabeth Mallory.
Right. I won't forget that. I'm sorry. Now, what was it that you wanted to know?
I want to know why he was condemned.
Because he deserved to be.
For what, though?
A crime? What else?
What kind of a crime?
Just plotting counter-revolutionary plots against the Republic, plotting against us.
And how do you know that's the truth?
Because it is. It had to be.
You don't even know?
I wasn't the only one. The rest of the tribunal agreed too. We saw enough to know what was true and what wasn't. You see, there was evidence.
Like what?
Just things that seemed to indicate.
You're not answering my question.
And I don't have to. Listen, I don't expect you to be able to understand it.
Understand what?
He was disloyal. Isn't that serious enough?
But he wasn't. You know he wasn't.
Listen, there's that many people that agree. It's not for you to question. I wondered. See, people said.
People like who? Constance Monsieur? What did she have to say for the tribunal to believe her? What kind of lies did she tell?
You have no right to say anything against her.
But she's a liar. Can't you see? Andre never did a thing. He was never guilty. He doesn't deserve to be dying.
I don't care what he was or wasn't. It was for the tribunal to decide.
You're a part of it. If you'd look again, you'd see what isn't there.
I saw all there was to see. I'm not one to miss.
Then you would have known the truth.
I did.
Then why didn't you tell them? How could you just sit there and let them condemn him? How can you justify this? Constance Monsieur wants him dead. She'd do anything to see it done.
That's not true. I trust her. She wouldn't lie to me.
To you.
Or the tribunal.
Why do you rely on her so much? Who is she to you? How can you rely so much on someone you don't even know? You knew. You knew the whole time. You knew he hadn't done a thing. It was for her. It was for Constance. She made you.
It wasn't just my choice. The rest of the tribunal agreed. The jury, too. If that many people agree, it's not for you to question.
But you were all wrong.
Another word and I'll have you arrested.
Another sin to your list.
Is everything all right, Your Honor?
Yes, everything's fine.
Are you sure? I heard shouting.
Yes, we were just finishing.
Your Honor.
I said it's fine. I'm not a patient man when it comes to people trying to impugn my work, or the tribunals. I'm sure you've gathered as much.
Please. Monsieur, Andre and I, we were engaged. I love him. You can't expect me to sit and watch him die.
Maybe not. But the justice can't let his emotions dictate to him. You would do well to learn that, even if you are just a woman.
Just a woman?
I don't mean to cause offense. I'm just stating facts.
You listen to Constance. She's just a woman. Or is she different?
Constance...
wants him dead. So there's nothing I can do then?
No, it's already been set.
And I'm sorry for having wasted your time.
I wasn't always like this.
I remember first being here when I was kept alone. I had nothing but my own mind and no way to hide from it. Days passed slowly. The first to come was a woman, a mother who'd killed an officer that had been sent to arrest her son. She'd hit the man over the head with the nearest thing she could touch. She'd been tried and condemned in under an hour. The second had been an aristocrat, Marguerite. Her husband was safe in Spain. He had left her to the mercy of the revolutionaries. She'd lost everything that made her who she was, and she hated the world for it. She even hated us. She still does. The last had killed a journalist. He'd been a Swede who'd imposed himself on our revolution and wrote to provoke. He wrote, and the people killed. It was that simple. She hadn't spoken about it except once. She said she killed 1 to save 1,000. Incredibly, I believed her. She's not said another word since, though. That was Charlotte Corday.
not all a waste, if that's what you think.
Who are you to care? You don't even know what you're saying.
I know enough to where I think I do. People, they're always talking about you. I don't believe most of it, though. I just can't see how it could be true.
Which part? People say a lot of things.
The part that you don't feel anything, that you can't.
You doubt it?
Well, no one's that inhuman.
You're wrong. Unless there's benevolence in killing.
I don't believe that. But Marat must have thought so.
I'm sure he did.
It doesn't make it right.
It doesn't make it wrong either.
Maybe not. Maybe what you did could have been courage.
Oh, you don't believe that.
Of course, courage wouldn't make you want to pretend that you're indifferent.
How would you know?
I wouldn't. But you do.
Even sinners need hope. But when there's no point, it's the worst thing this world can take from you. Besides your life, it's the only thing they know they can take. The only thing they know they can touch. But what can I do for that? I'll be dead soon enough. I knew what I did and Marat knew what he did. Seems to be enough for the both of us.
Corday?
What concern should you have with me? You'll be dead soon enough, too.
Don't you even.
Francois.
Oh, you startled me, Constance. It's only you, then?
Only me, Francois?
Well, I mean, what if you had been somewhere else, someone important?
And I'm not important to you.
No, I didn't mean that. I mean, you do mean, you're not important. If that makes any sense. I mean, I didn't want you to think otherwise.
Of course you didn't.
I mean, what if it had been Robespierre or Montagne or even another Charlotte Corday coming to get me? What would I have done then?
You don't still worry about not having enough time to put thoughts on, do you? Like you do for all the important people?
You know I'd rather be genuine.
I'd rather you be genuine too. Only with you. Show everyone what they want to see, and it'll be better for both of us.
I do try for that.
I know.
I have to try. For you.
So you've said.
You know what you are to me.
As if I need reminding.
One more time.
Your Honor!
At the end!
I didn't know anyone else was in here. Of course you did. But now you do. I couldn't have known. I was just following orders. Not very well. I'm only here for justice, not you.
There isn't any difference. You shouldn't act as if there is.
She's just a woman, though.
And you're just an officer. Now you'll do what I said.
Yes, Your Honor.
Good. Now go.
But Gustav sent me. They're waiting for you over at the...
I don't care who sent you. Leave.
They'll start the trial without you. Montanet's not waiting.
What?
The Corday trial. You didn't forget.
No, of course not. When is it starting?
Now, Your Honor.
Oh, I'm sorry, I can't stay.
What's this now?
I have to be at the trial. I have other obligations. I'm sorry.
Francois.
Really, I'll be back as soon as I can. I promise.
I know. Your Honor, you're already late. So much for good impressions. So you're just waiting here? That's all I ever do is wait. You should know. There's no opportunity with impatience. No. But it makes you hard to trust. At least someone can see it.
Monsieur Robespierre, I see it as my duty as a citizen of this republic to point out where error lies. For it's only when the blemishes are done away with that all can work flawlessly.
She was trying to do a good thing. But you have to understand, you can't be what you're trying to prevent. There's no fighting a murderer with murder.
What should she have done?
I can't say. It's not so easy to judge things, especially when they're as bad as they are. No one will remember what she did, though. And they won't stop the killings over the death of one man.
I don't think she was trying to do that much. She must have known that she couldn't. Yet, she tried to just the same.
She was the only one who was willing to. Everyone else knew what the consequences would be.
You think she didn't consider that?
Only she knows for certain. It surprises me sometimes how much people commend her for killing him. Not many, but there has been a few. I don't think something like that is worth the rest of your life. There'll only be another like him, perhaps even worse than he was.
So that's it then? She just threw away her life over nothing?
I wouldn't say it like that.
It can't have been a waste, though.
What's there left that isn't a waste?
It's like you said. She was trying to do something good.
Marat thought he was too. But it's all perspective.
So she was wrong.
I'm not a judge, Andre, but killing people doesn't make anything better.
It's what you did.
That was different.
How?
I was only a mother protecting her child. I never wanted to kill anyone. It ended up that I had to.
Oh, but how is it different?
I know what I did was wrong, and I still feel sick just thinking about it. It only took me a moment to lose myself. But she never even knew where she stood in the first place. She didn't have half of a notion. And to decide something like that, to sit there and arrange murder when you don't even understand.
What difference does it make? In the end, what's done is done. And there's nothing you can do to change that.
But she's a monster, though. She only feels for herself and that she has to die. So Marat might have been depraved and he might have deserved to die, but not the way he did. With his back turned, believing lies of good intentions. Only a coward kills that way.
So there's honor in your way of killing, then?
There's no honor in any of it. But what was I supposed to do? Watch them carry off my son? Let him go die for things he'd never done? I couldn't stand and watch.
I think there's more to her than you think.
Did you take that from reading?
I just wanted to understand. Know it better.
And do you?
I don't know. It's like going into a dark room with a candle. You can only see part of what's there, even if it is right in front of you.
She wouldn't have wanted you to have read that.
She wouldn't have wanted it. And why should you care about that? Who here concerns themselves with wretches like Charlotte Corday? Only fools.
What right do you have to judge us? Or her, for that matter?
Not that it's my place to say, but there was someone who seemed rather interested in that idea. Well, I suppose it's permissible so long as you're not the one being judged.
We were only talking.
I seem to hear your opinions quite clearly.
This isn't a simple matter.
Oh, I suppose that it isn't. But it's not something that I was wasting my time with, looking into the reasoning of a damned radical. It's nothing but a horde of mindless peasants without the slightest notion of how to run a country.
Your king did no better.
You knew nothing about him. That's the issue. Your kind are far too quick to judge.
What was to judge? The country was in ruin and the people were starving.
You slaughtered your own king. What good does that do to the revolutionaries?
Even Charlotte knew it wasn't right.
If a criminal can have more scruples than their accusers, what's to be said of that?
This is his daughter. Defral's dead.
Already? We've already found out a few hours ago.
He tried to break loose and tried to escape. Needless to say, his escorts dealt accordingly. From what I heard, they only had to discharge once, though I'm sure it ruined his finery just the same. I'm sure that upset him as much as dying did.
Don't be discouraged. Escort Madam is out to her chamber.
Am I to be your attendant now?
You're certainly poor now.
I'll just leave you to Charlotte Corday then.
You think I can?
I know you can. Now, allow me, mademoiselle.
Is it just the questioning that I was to have?
What, monsieur?
Corday.
Oh. No, the trial's not until tomorrow.
And there's no doubt as towards the outcome?
None. There were witnesses. They say someone has to die for it. At least this time. She was actually the one to do it.
Let me see your hands. What's wrong? Do we even have to ask?
They're going to kill me. Oh God, I don't want to die. I don't want to die.
No, we're not going to worry about that now. It doesn't do anyone any good.
You don't want me to worry? How can you say that?
It's not like that. They just...
But they're going to kill me.
It's really not like that. You are such a liar. Oh, it's really not like that. They just happen to murder people all the time. But as long as they call it execution, it's all right.
No. You don't understand. They murdered my father. They stopped us in an empty street and killed him. He didn't even have a chance to cry out. Then he was just dead before I even realized it. They didn't have a reason. They just did it. And now they come back here telling innumerable lies as to how it happened. How he tried to run. How he fought back. How he tried to strangle one of them with his hands bound. They're all lying about it. And no one's doing anything about it. And all I can think about is what's stopping them from doing the same to me.
Very little, I can assure you.
My God, Marguerite, she's only a child. She doesn't need your resentments with everything else.
You shouldn't expect anything different from me.
I'm not a child.
What?
I'm not a child.
But you look like you're...
It's just, I've been made to understand things. Things I still wish I didn't know.
Fall from innocence.
I'm not a child anymore. I may look like one. But they did that for me.
It's not what I see. You're not like us. You shouldn't want to be. You're just afraid.
And you're not? I was raised being told that someday I'll die. Everyone does. I never imagined it being so close, though. No one ever expects it, but when it comes, they all wonder, is it really oblivion, an end to everything we all know and live for? Or is it what people want to believe it is? That there's something else out there? It scares me, not knowing. And just thinking about what they're going to do to me, whether I'm judged or not.
You've not even been tried yet?
I never said I had been.
She hasn't even been tried yet. Consider that. She hasn't even been tried, and she's going on as if her execution is to take place within an hour.
They don't have to tell me what they're going to do to me for me to know.
You really think you know that?
Only because I'm right. It's the same for everyone.
Well, you seem very convinced, if not a little too confident. But your father wasn't any different. You must be another one of his failings.
You never knew my father.
Everyone knew Defrau. Even people who hadn't met him or had no place to. Common people knew Defrau. But only some of us could see what he really was, through all his good impressions and flattering speech.
Then what was he?
He was a lot of things, none of them being very good. His worst was his arrogance, second only to maybe his selfishness, and that he was the worst this country's ever seen. He disgraced his own aristocracy with his concerns. I still don't know how he managed to stay away from the revolutionaries this long.
If my father's the worst thing this country can produce, then that spineless wretch Marat is nothing less than the devil.
Finally, a point we can agree on. The only one, I dare say.
What inspires your hatred more? my father's wealth or his endurance.
I've never had need to envy either. I had wealth, and for a while I was under the illusion I had endurance too. But it seems like to be wealthy is too much of a crime for this society. They want to eliminate every remnant of our class, and they will. It's the only thing that's certain now.
Our class? Then we're equal?
Not hardly.
Then it's not our class, it's yours.
And where does that leave you?
Affluent, but above pride.
Pride isn't a fault.
Not when it's used against my father.
That's enough.
What, you don't like contradictions?
I said that's enough!
Then don't make them. That's what lies ever lead to.
That's not an accusation, is it?
Marguerite, she's only a child.
She doesn't think so. Or did you already forget? Doesn't matter what she is. She still has to know her place.
You have no authority to dictate me or anyone else in here.
I have every right. Don't you dare question that. You're pathetic. And you wonder why your father's dead. He was just as useless a wretch as you are.
Don't you ever talk about my father!
If that's how you want to carry yourself, then the world will be well rid of you.
Monsieur!
It's all right, Gil. It's only the justice.
Monsieur, I almost missed you. You're not in a hurry, are you?
Not too much of one. Why?
Well, I wanted to talk to you, but if you don't have time...
I have a couple of moments right now.
How are things?
Good. The justice just pulled the Robespierre aside.
I wonder what he'll say to him.
Your guess would be as good as mine.
He has to be careful with what he does.
I'm sure he knows that. At least he should know.
He only knows what we tell him. I still wonder how he got to where he's at.
Works to our favor that he did, though.
I suppose. Are you helping now?
I told you I'd let you handle it on your own.
I'm not exactly by myself.
And I don't want to be blamed for anything if anything happened.
I'm sure you can handle it. Nothing bad will happen.
How do you know? How happy do you think our superiors would be if anything did?
Fine. Let's go.
Are you waiting for something?
I was actually. I was just curious how the questioning went today.
Cordays? I can't say I was allowed in.
Still, it's kind of an intriguing issue.
Intriguing. There's nothing intriguing about Marat Don.
No, but just who it was.
Are you just like everyone else? You're all missing what's important.
That being?
What we've lost with this.
But we've all lost different things.
Can't you all just leave me alone?
Charlotte.
Is this what you wanted to see? To know that the horrid wretch has to suffer? Are you all going to judge me for being human?
Nobody's here to judge.
But you still do. I know it. I see it in all of you. Don't touch me.
I just wanted to know what happened.
There's nothing for you to know.
Or nothing you want me to?
Why should I tell you anyway? I hardly even know you.
Because I think it's better than being alone.
You understand how it is. What it's like waiting to die. When you know they're going to kill you. I'm already sick of it. You don't know how much I wish I were dead.
Say that. Don't wish for it to come any sooner than it does. Or regret it.
I won't regret anything. And And you're wrong about being alone. There's nothing better for me.
Who is she?
Charlotte Corday.
And she's the one who... She doesn't look like she could kill him, though.
She did.
You know, I wish things were always like us. Just the two of us and nothing to worry about.
Doesn't everyone want that?
What's wrong with wanting?
Nothing. But let's not lose reality.
At least not completely. You know, sometimes I wish that there hadn't been a revolution. That I wasn't a justice.
What do you mean?
Well, everything was simpler before. Happier.
And miserable. We've never been better off than we are now.
Who? Us or France?
Both. We wouldn't have even met each other if it wasn't for the revolution.
I hardly have time to know you now. It's just one obligation after another. It doesn't ever stop.
You can't blame yourself for what has to be done.
But does it have to be done?
You know the answer to that. We didn't start something not to finish it.
Finish it? There's not an end in sight.
I don't see it, but it's there.
You promise?
I promise.
You know I love you.
I had no idea.
No. I know I say it a lot, but I mean it. I really do.
Something wrong, dearest?
No, I'm all right.
If you're sure, then.
You're not meaning to stay out here, are you? I don't have anywhere else.
Why not ask around?
I have nothing. I can't pay.
No one ever does. Still is no reason to be sitting out at corners. You'd be surprised what people would do for you.
I'm not looking for charity.
I suspect not. You'd probably be at a church by now if you were.
I didn't know there were any left.
Of course there are. Still where they've always been. They're mostly empty is all. Besides, there never used to be any shame in sleeping in pews. I used to do it myself every Sunday. But there are not many fathers around to mind it.
No, they're all dead or married.
You're awfully stiff. It's only banter. Besides, I have a place for you if you want it. It's just down the street.
At the inn?
Yes. It's me and my husband's. We have a back room if you want. But mind you, it'd only be for a night or two. Nothing real long.
And you wouldn't be asking anything for it?
Did I say I would? I mean, I can make an exception every now and again. It's not like you'd be giving anyone any hassle. Good, you see? There's still some good people left in Paris.
We're not tired, are we?
No. Why would you think that?
You know, I was just wondering, I mean, there has to be some reason why you're so quiet. Unless I'm boring you.
No. No, you couldn't.
Oh?
You know, it's nice having someone who cares.
I'm sure it is.
I never had anyone before. Not even a family. Didn't make things easy.
I don't think it would have been easy either way. I mean, look where we're at.
I would. If I could think straight.
You've been doing too much, Francois.
It's not me. It's the tribunal.
Well, then you've all been doing too much.
But it has to be done.
I never said it didn't. just don't know what to do anymore, Francois. I just feel like I don't have a place anymore. I'm just a distraction. That's not helping anybody. Everything we've worked for is on the edge of the knife. Everything this country's ever worked for. Things are already starting to go wrong. People are having their doubts. Not that many yet, but things could change. We can't lose what we have. We have to finish what we've started.
How touching.
I don't see you doing anything.
Don't you get tired of pretending?
At least I'm making something out of myself. It's better than what you do.
We're not so different. I try too.
You know what? You only try when there's someone doing everything for you. We don't even want the same thing.
And what do you want? What's in this for you?
I've told you many times.
That Andre Saul, you're still keeping after him?
He put me where I'm at. He and his father both.
There was more to it, though.
Their lives were hers. They let it happen.
So what are you going to do when this is all over?
I'm not staying here.
Have your affections worn off?
They were never there.
You play the part well. The justice will never know, even after you're done with him.
Isn't that the point?
How long do you have left?
Less than 3 days.
And you won't leave Paris?
Just this part of it. I wouldn't be better off anywhere else.
And you won't stay longer than you have to?
Just long enough to get everything done.
You're going to finish things up with him?
Have some ideas, but you'll see.
You know, your Andre Saul's turning out to be quite the recurrent subject.
What do you mean?
There was a woman who came in this morning to see the justice. I couldn't say exactly what it was about, but I know it had to do with Saul.
Francois was seeing a woman?
Not seeing per se, it was more that she wanted to come in and shout at him for the tribunal's partiality.
And who was she?
I couldn't say. The judge should know who she is, though, unless he's a bigger fool than you and I both thought. I swear, he would sleep through another Charlotte Corday.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Not too much, no.
No. His ignorance makes him useful for some things.
I thought I wouldn't ever see you again. I don't really know where to start. There was so much we wanted. So much we'll never have. If only things had happened differently. There's nothing in being remorseful, though. It can't change anything. Not now. There's nothing left in trying to remember. It's too far away. I'm losing my memories of you, of the other times. They're almost gone now. There's nothing left for me here but madness and fear. Sometimes I find myself wishing I was already dead, just like the others. I'd rather die than forget. Elizabeth, I'm drowning. I'm drowning where no one can save me. And all I can see is your face slipping away from me. Elizabeth, can't you say something? A single word, anything. God, let me hear you. Just one last time. A final word, please. Elizabeth. There's so much I could say, but I'll never find the right words, because there aren't any. But I want you to know that in everything I might lose, that I might forget, I'll still always think about you. I'll always have you. Please, say something. As long as I can hear you, Elizabeth, please. Writing does.
I didn't know you were still awake.
I wasn't until just now.
Oh. Well, I guess it's better than being alone then.
Something wrong?
I don't think anyone can say there isn't anymore.
But I mean something else. Something more.
I was just thinking how lucky you are.
Lucky?
You can still sleep.
You don't?
I'm afraid to. You never know what will happen, what you'll see.
So you just keep yourself up this entire time?
I don't have anything else.
You're not letting yourself get away from all this.
And if there is no getting away?
There has to be.
Not when there's always something to follow me.
That's not for you, is it?
No. It was going to be for my father. I figured I'd tell him what's happened.
He doesn't know?
He thinks I'm in London.
You told him that?
I didn't tell him where I was going. It was bad enough just doing it.
You might already know. After all, Marita was his best friend.
At least they thought he was.
Nobody's just going to be able to forget about this. People will be talking everywhere, not just here.
That's why I want my father to understand when he finds out. You know how it always is.
There's nothing but lies and stories.
Just talk, most of it not even true. That's why I want my father to understand.
Well, what will you tell him?
The only thing I can, that I'm sorry. What else should I say? The last thing I told him was a lie, and he just smiled and believed it. He wanted everything from me. That's all he ever said. I feel like I wasted it.
No, that's not true.
How could you say that? You don't even know me. What am I to you anyway?
I'm sorry, I was just curious.
Is that all I am then? A curiosity? Or just a monster?
You're not a monster.
No, I'm not. Then why do I feel like one? Why can't I get away from anything? I can still see his face. Still hear him. I remember just sitting there watching him die, not even knowing what I'd done. I thought I hated him. I did for a moment, but now all I can hate is myself. He didn't deserve to die that way. No one does, except me.
You know that's not true.
Look what I did, though. I killed someone.
And what did Marita do? He wrote into people. He told them to be unforgiving and to kill, and they did. Does a man like that not deserve to die?
Do you think what I did was right?
There's no right or wrong anymore. There's only things that happened, things that needed to be done.
And you think it needed to be done?
You know it did. How many more hundreds of innocent people would have had to die? How many innocent people would have had to die?
I still don't feel like what I did was right, though. I mean, we both killed, didn't we? So how are we different?
You actually feel.
No one seems to think so.
You're just afraid to show them. I mean, how could they possibly know
You
that?
know what? That I'm weak? That's not even feeling. It's just cowardice. I can't believe I gave my life for this. It was only one man. What good will that do? I wasted everything.
Charlotte, please don't be like this, Charlotte. It's okay.
Constance, startled me. I didn't expect to see you until after the trial.
No, probably not.
It's nice anyways.
Isn't it?
Yes, Constance, you're mad at me.
Why would I be mad?
I wouldn't know.
Who was she?
Who? What are you talking about?
Yesterday, Gustav said you were seeing a woman.
Only you?
A younger woman.
Oh, yes. She was just looking into things.
Just looking into things?
Constance, you don't think I would... No, I wouldn't do that. Not to you.
She was asking about Andre's cell.
Yeah, well, more shouting about him, really.
She was unhappy with the triangle rule.
Yes, she wanted to know why it was the way it was.
And who was she?
You don't expect me to remember things like that, do you?
Francois, I don't ask very much of you, but when I do, I need to know.
I think she said something about being related to him, or engaged, I think.
You think?
Well, I don't know, it was yesterday. A lot of things have happened since then, a lot more important things.
Just one name, is that so hard for you?
I haven't hardly slept in a week, and you expect me to remember these little insignificant...
That's all you have. Excuses.
Constance.
I cannot believe you. You think this is amusing?
Constance. I forgot. I wrote it down. I have it here. Yes. Listen, I know what you must be thinking, but if you could spare a little forgiveness.
It's fine, Francois.
Mean it?
I suppose.
Well, then I suppose you'd like to know what her name was?
I suppose I would.
It was Elizabeth Mallory.
Then she was the betrothed.
You knew about her, and you didn't tell me.
You weren't even certain. How was I supposed to be? Then she really was here yesterday.
Yes.
Is she still in Paris?
How would I know?
Did she say anything about leaving?
No, I don't. No, not particularly.
I want her arrested, Francois.
Arrested? For what?
Her betrothed's a known criminal, if that's not enough.
But she's not even a legal relation.
What does that matter? She still was befriending him.
What if she didn't know what she was doing?
Why are you questioning it? Or do you think a pretty face means she's innocent?
No, I don't think that. No, I know better.
Then what is it? You never hesitated before.
I never felt like I had to. I'm sorry, Constance. I know you're only trying to do what's best for us.
And if you want what's best, you'll do as I say.
I'll send some officers for her.
I'm in your debt, Francois.
No, let's see him. I'm in yours.
You do well for yourself.
You should know. Justice only comes to those in this world that have the means to get it. Do this.
I don't think you have a choice.
What will I say? What do I tell them?
Just tell them the truth, even if they don't understand.
They won't believe me.
I do. Your father will.
They'll still say I'm a traitor, though.
Let them be wrong. You ready then?
They don't need me to let them be wrong.
They'll do well enough on their own.
Strange, isn't it? What internment can do. How it can drive you to all sorts of madness at the same time to who you really are. Letting some maintain their integrity and others not.
What do you mean?
People don't realize that when they fall from their old characters, they're still being driven by a part of themselves. No matter what happens, no matter what delirium they fall into, it's inherent what comes through. Some truth they probably not have seen, or else others are just too blind to not care.
But Charlotte's not...
Who said anything about Charlotte? I wasn't talking about her.
Then who are you?
I think you'd know.
Oh, so you're trying to suggest something to me?
Not really suggesting, but take it as you wish. It was only an observation.
Or an implication?
You know it's true what I said. It seems that more and more we're losing our old characters, our old sentiments. None of us are the same anymore. Time just wears too many things away.
I wish I could disagree. It's not like we can help it.
At least you're still honest, for the most part. Maybe you're not as changed as I thought.
You have a new fascination with change.
I really don't think I'm the one with a new fascination.
I don't understand.
Obviously not. You know, I wonder about your integrity.
Well, that can mean a lot of things. Which are you trying to question?
Maybe honesty, or respectability, or both.
For what?
I just noticed some things.
What things?
Well, you seem to have a certain partiality for some people. Not something I'd expect from a man who's already engaged, but I'm sure Charlotte appreciates the attention just the same.
Is that what this is about?
It's just so strange.
Isn't this significant, coming from someone whose primary concerns aren't even their own?
And this morning, the two of you sitting there like a pair of lovesick children.
You're making a lot of assumptions out of nothing.
You can't deny your interest.
I have no more interest in her than anybody else.
That's not really quite true.
Even you can't ignore her.
Except for it seems like you're doing much more than just acknowledging.
And what's there to support that?
Everything, really. It would fit. You want to know everything about her. You want to understand things better. You can't stop talking about her. You can't stop talking to her. And this morning we all wake up to see the two of you fighting, doing only God knows what.
Because no one else will even say a word to her. If you'd listen to her for 1 second, you'd realize how terrified she is.
Everyone always says they have good intentions. It's just easier to lie, though, isn't it?
Oh, I'm sure for you it is. Is this what you wanted? Well, you have it now. Are you amused?
I wonder what your intended would think of this. The poor, stupid girl!
Don't you ever.
What? Are you so sensitive? Well, I suppose when one must play the part.
That's enough.
I wonder what she'd think. If only she knew you were an unfaithful bastard.
One more word and it's your last.
Is that a threat?
Andre, stop! Both of you, we don't need this!
I swear to God I'll have your head before they do.
Andre, stop it!
If only she could see this, then she'd know she's well rid of you.
Stop it! Stop! You know she's not worth it, you know it! Please!
Maybe I'm not.
So tell him then what I said. Usually I do it myself when I trust you this.
Monsieur? Yes, Montaner would like you to enter a plea of insanity for Charlotte Corday.
I have to? You won't like that.
No, but we don't want any patriotic sentiments going about.
You're worried about that.
Yes,
Still can't tell what the rabble will do?
not quite.
Neither could Uriel Avila, and look where that got him. If you'll excuse me.
Say, gentlemen, remember ready to get started?
Just nearly. We're waiting on one more thing.
Excellent. I would assume that things will go well today.
It will. It will. Then we're ready to begin? Let's start.
Come on today, Juge. Monsieur. You've done well. Both of you. I mean, given the task that you asked before.
We don't owe the Republic anything less.
No. But we are very, very fortunate to have men like you leading this Republic. Very fortunate.
Thank you, Monsieur.
You're very welcome. Good day.
Charlotte! Charlotte!
Sarah, keep away!
I just want to see her! Talk to her! One word, please!
She has nothing to say.
Please! Give me a moment! Just one moment!
Monsieur.
Please! I'll do anything!
One more word and you're a dead man.
Coward! You wretched coward!
I want you to know, I'm sorry for what happened earlier. I shouldn't have been so angry.
I wish all that could be true.
Do you think it isn't?
Wasn't I the one who was wrong?
I'm not asking you to say that. I'm just asking you to forgive me for what I did.
Even if there's nothing to forgive, you didn't do anything to me.
I might have. They hadn't stopped me.
I don't understand why you're wasting your time with this.
I just want to make amends. It's only right.
But I don't deserve any second chances.
And if I judge differently?
Why would you? Shouldn't have said any of the things that I did.
You let yourself accept what I had to do. I was being irrational.
And I wasn't. If anyone should be asking for pardon, it's me.
Well, if it's a pardon that you want, then you have it. And if not, know that I have a share in the blame too, and I'm sorry for that.
Are you so accountable that you want to dispute who's to carry the blame? I only wish dying were this easy. I mean, if it were at least justifiable.
It's not.
That's our world, I suppose. Petty crimes are capital offenses, and the innocent are regularly put to death for no reason. We don't deserve to die. And to drag people into courtrooms to condemn them for loyalty to better times, it's wrong. They always find something to condemn you for, don't they?
It's not enough anymore to know that you're innocent. It only guarantees a fair judgment after death. But what's that now? To life? You only live once, and to have all that time wasted.
Solace is there and an uncertain hereafter.
What is the point in there anymore? In false composure? It's all a lie. What's to gain in accepting a death that we've done nothing to earn? Sanity? Hardly. What's the sense in letting fates take over that we didn't choose ourselves?
Still, there's no stopping anything.
And all that's left is regrets. I remember once when I had everything right before me. I could do whatever I wanted, and no one could tell me any different, but the world had other ideas.
None of us have been afforded the opportunity to really appreciate what time we've been given. Then, we never knew they would be so quick to take our lives.
And they can't even bring themselves to care. So long as the revolution's upheld, they don't care how many innocent people have to die.
They're the ones whose idea will persist. Generation after generation will be just as blind. They'll look back and think that it had to happen for a reason. They'll see people like Marat and only see heroes and martyrs. They'll judge off the baseness that we never really had.
No one will ever remember us as just people. They'll only see us as traitors and murderers. They'll only see us committing transgressions that we never really ever thought of. They'll never see us innocent.
And except for that the people who actually know that we're innocent could never bring themselves to acknowledge it.
And all because we started a revolution.
And for what, though? Tell me, what did they think that they could do?
Couldn't have known it would come to this.
To what? To them overthrowing disregard for their own oppression? You say that people used to have it so badly, that people were starving. Well, don't you see that those same people are being executed for reasons above their own comprehension? Their plights are left unanswered, and they're being killed for it.
I'm not going to pretend I understand it, but I'm not going to say the revolution is wrong either.
The revolutionists can't have any success in what they do. Their purpose is too distorted.
The purpose was never distorted. Just some of the things we did to try to reach it were. Our revolution isn't perfect, but that doesn't make it all bad.
You know, I would believe that had I seen anything good come out of the revolution.
Maybe you will. Somehow. I don't think the revolutionaries ever meant to do all those horrible things. They said they just wanted a chance to give us what would have made us all happy, sitting under the heels of noblemen and monarchs for so long. The revolution was supposed to give us a voice where we'd never been allowed to speak before. We'd have freedom, and no one would look at anyone as if they were different from themselves. But then there was some who started to say we couldn't have what we wanted unless we made concessions. And in that next moment, we were killing people. Their lives had to be given up, and they had to be the concessions. We had a chance to shape the country that so many of us had wanted and dreamed about. But we couldn't do it.
The difference between what people say they want and what they really want.
Yes. But the revolutionaries really did want everything they said they did.
They just lost it all trying to get it.
I see it as my duty as a citizen of this republic to point out where error lies. For it's only when the blemishes are done away with that all can work flawlessly. It's therefore vital that I report transgressions of the worst kind. Transgressions committed in the very office of one of the republic's magistrates. The justice in question is Francois Juge.
My dear!
Francois, I wasn't expecting to see you so soon.
But the trial just ended. You must not have heard.
No. Which trial?
Cordays.
And I suppose you'd like to tell me how it went.
I'm sure you can guess.
I'm sure you'd rather tell me.
Constance, Charlotte Corday's been condemned. I couldn't be happier with its success.
Success? You must understand that this gain can never amount to the loss we've suffered.
Well, I guess, but it is an achievement of sorts.
I suppose. Though it's hardly worth anything now.
Constance?
I was just wondering when the execution will be.
Tomorrow, at the beginning of the general executions. Aren't you pleased?
Why shouldn't I be?
Did I mention? I met Monsieur Robespierre. After the trial, he came up and said that we did really well. The tribunal, that is. He said that the Republic is lucky to have justices like us, and that we should be proud of what we do.
His praise was well given. You've all been working very hard.
Well...
Especially you, Francois. I don't know anyone more devoted.
I just do what I must.
It's good that way, though.
Then you aren't mad at me?
No, why should I be?
It's just that when I came in, you seemed a little despondent. I mean, I know it's just, sometimes I worry.
Well, please, don't.
I can try, but no promises.
I think I should go now. I have other obligations to attend to.
Other obligations?
Yes, other obligations and not you. I don't like it any more than you do, but it has to be done.
Until tomorrow, then?
Yes, tomorrow, if you'd have to be absent that long.
You know I wouldn't.
Then sooner?
Sooner, yes.
I'll see what I can do.
Is this how it feels then? Knowing you're damned and not being able to do a thing about it?
And the trial's finally done?
I knew how it would be in the end. It was just a matter of waiting for them to finish what they wanted, and now it's over. I was hanging on to a fool's hope. I was waiting for a deliverance that I knew couldn't ever come. As if people like me deserved to live. That's just it. I'm not ready for what's coming. I was never ready. I feel like I'm standing on the edge of something terrible and I can't pull myself away from it. Every part of me is screaming to get out, but I can't.
I'm so sorry. God knows I'm so sorry, but you can't be like this. You can't let it hurt you.
You're so sorry? Don't even say that. I've had enough of lies.
It's not a lie. You know that.
I don't want your pity.
What then? I'm trying to help you, but if you won't let me, then...
You can't change what's happened, so what's the point?
Charlotte, I'm scared. I can see it. But please, I don't want this to be how you spend out the rest of your life.
All they've left me is one miserable day. What choice do I have?
We all have choices. And if I care enough to want to help, then...
I don't need your help. I thought I'd made that clear.
Charlotte, you have to realize that you don't have to go through this alone.
You seem to have managed it so far.
And look at you. You're miserable because of it. It's grinding you down into nothing.
I'm dying. Isn't that how they want it to be?
Don't focus on what they want. They want you dead.
Your honesty is considerate.
You think it's any different for the rest of us? You're not the only one here. Every day, every moment, I see my life slipping away before my eyes.
Then why don't you just concern yourself with that?
Because it's not right. Am I wrong? Just because everybody on the outside commits one atrocity after the other doesn't mean that I have to.
You don't understand anything, do you? There's nothing you can do for me.
If I could just try.
And you accuse me of not listening.
Open your eyes. You're letting your fear dictate you. That's madness. Either you fight it or you drown in it.
What's there to fight? My soul's already lost. It has been for a long time. Do you think I really want to meet what's waiting for me when this is done with? To face another judgment that I know will be set against me? What consolation is there in hell?
You're frightening yourself over an uncertainty.
Why don't you tell me that after you've killed someone? There can't be any favorable resolutions when something is a guarantee.
You don't know that.
But
That's where you're not understanding.
Well, then if you know all the answers, why don't you change everything? Show me what all your sympathy is worth. Or are you not God?
I don't recall ever saying that I was.
Then stop pretending! Stop pretending to know what you never can know. What you never will.
I'm not pretending to do anything.
Oh, you're not? God, I'm tired of ignorant people lying to me. No one will try to understand.
Because you won't let them! You go on as if you want pity, as if you want someone to appreciate you, but the second that they try, you won't let them. What are you so afraid of? Everything's done and over with now. The only person that can hurt you is yourself.
Is that all I can do then? Hurt people? Hurt myself? I'm tired of being a monster, Andre. I'm tired of being hated for the only good thing I ever tried to do. I'm tired of having to live with what I did.
You'll have what you want soon enough. Then will you be happy? When you're dead, will that make you happy?
I never knew you were the type to ridicule.
I'm sorry, I can't help being frustrated.
I'm sure you can't.
Listen, I'm incredibly sorry.
Just stop. I don't want to hear anymore. Why can't you just leave me alone? I don't need anyone else, especially not you.
Charlotte,
I wish you were dead! God, I wish you were dead! I wish I could kill you!
Is that how you want it? Fine. That's the way you want it. That's how it's going to be.
What did I do?
Your Honor.
Gustav, what brings you here?
I have information, Your Honor.
Information? Regarding what?
I've obtained an address from the informants, one Mademoiselle Elizabeth Malheureux.
Who?
You asked me to find out as much as I could as to her whereabouts. I believe it was for Constance.
Oh, yes. Then she's still in Paris.
It would seem that half the city should know she's still there. She didn't go through any trouble trying to conceal herself. No false names, nothing. It's rather strange.
Yes, as if she wants to be found. Have you done anything about her yet?
Not yet, Your Honor.
I want her apprehended, today. There's no sense in waiting with something like this.
I'll go right away then.
Yes. And Gustav, send someone for Constance. She'll want to know.
Watching her. Going?
Honestly, I can't leave you alone, can I?
It's probably better that you don't.
Well, you don't waste your time. Just to send me out to find you.
So you could tell me all about what he's found out for me? I don't think he'd expect me to know these things already.
Why should I tell him when I know it's only for you?
Then this is the address?
Yes. Etienne and myself hope to go for as soon as we can.
Gustav, what do you do? Gustav, you can just... Gustav!
Is that just in case?
What else would it be?
Etienne and myself have things to do.
Be careful you don't hurt her too much.
But we can't trust her.
A rude Dame Morlan. She's been here all along, and I didn't even know it.
Wait. I have something for you.
Don't you always? Do you know something I don't?
It's very possible.
Won't you tell me what it is?
I'm sure you could guess it. If you'd only look. This isn't the most conventional way to do it, but just the same.
Then this means that is you want to...
To marry you? How could you think I would? Elizabeth, if you'll have me.
It's good to be careful. It can keep you from trouble.
Have you come to mock me?
Then you do recognize me. I was afraid you wouldn't.
How could I forget someone like you?
It's better this way, though. Now we don't have to waste time relaying facts and establishing resentment.
I have nothing to say to you.
I don't hold honesty against anyone.
I'm sure there's a lot you'd like to say to me.
But you're just too polite for profanity.
I'd rather keep my sentiments to myself.
You would, but you don't have to.
There's no fun to be had if that's what you're here for. Whatever you're trying to do, I don't intend to play along.
Wouldn't Andre be so disappointed?
So that's why you're here. To revel in your success? To amuse yourself with derision?
Did you expect any differently?
I don't see how you can commend yourself for what you do. Can you really take pride in murder?
What's not to be proud of? Everything's just how I want it.
And yet you're still a coward.
You don't seem to be a very good judge of character.
You just sit there, hiding behind your fools, manipulating their work, having them kill for you.
You know, it's not good to be presumptuous.
Really? I thought it was a virtue.
One of my better traits. Still wondered though.
Do you really see what you let yourself fall into?
And for what? To follow a dead man?
Is loyalty and love so far beyond your understanding?
I just don't understand why you waste your life on a lost cause.
Did you think that when your daughter was dying? You must have known there was nothing you could do. And yet you stayed. You never left her. Why would you think Andre would be any different from me? So why would I forget about him? How could I? I love him too much for that. It was just the same for you as it is for me.
The same? You don't even know what you're talking about. Don't you dare talk to me about my daughter.
Why? Are you afraid to be ashamed of what you've turned yourself into?
I didn't make myself into anything. The world did that for me.
Only because you allowed it to.
No! Andre and his father did.
Andre never did anything to you.
I came to them, begging and pleading when Therese was dying. But they never did a thing to help. They let her die. They killed her!
Andre never denied you anything. You can't blame him for his father's indifference.
Really? Then why didn't he come? If he's so compassionate, why didn't he come?
I can't tell you why it happened as it did. I wasn't there to see what went on. All I can say is that it wasn't Andre's fault.
He's just as much to blame as his father was, and I intend to see him dead for it.
Why can't you take responsibility for your own life? Or can't you take care of your own daughter?
I will not be blamed for this.
There's no need to hold anyone accountable, least of all him. Why are you even here? What more do you want from me? You've already taken Andre. What more can you possibly have?
I want you dead.
Haven't you already done enough? Aren't you through killing?
It's not enough anymore that just the offenders pay their due. My daughter had every right to be happy, every right to be married to Andre. But he
and his father took that away from her. Then he replaces her with you? I won't forgive that.
Even when I haven't done anything wrong?
You haven't done anything wrong? That's what you think? It would be enough for the court, because your betrothed is a known criminal.
And for you?
Your sins cannot amount to that.
Murder's a crime, though.
Not when the person is undesirable.
Please.
How does it feel, knowing that I can end your life in less than an instant? That your life's mine to do with what I will. Andre's life's mine to do with what I will. Oh, and what of him? All we can do, and all he can do is watch his time slip away. He can beg, he can cry for mercy, but there will be no one to hear him. No one to understand! And what about when tomorrow comes? He'll die, a broken spirit, forsaken, miserable, and even hated. Is that how you wanted it for him? But that's just the world, isn't it? And you'll die just the same, a miserable wretch. Then finish it, you coward! Gustav! Gustav, help me, Gustav!
Hold her! Hold her!
Are you all right, madam?
You bring her here!
No, I couldn't, please.
For God's sakes, Etienne.
No, I won't do it. You can't make me. I don't want any part of something like this.
Then would you like to die first?
Why can't you do it, Gustav?
If you ever want to amount to anything, you'll do what she says.
What did you expect when the odds are so far against you? You're a fool, and you'll take it to your death.
Well, and that's it then.
Yes, Your Honor.
Then she's dead.
It's just as I said. I had help carry her out. I think we know what I'm carrying her.
It doesn't matter, Your Honor, so long as she's done with.
Of course! One less we have to execute ourselves. Gustav! I've known you for 15 years. 15 years, and I never thought you'd be capable of an atrocity like this.
It's not what she's really making it out to be.
There are no excuses. Now go.
Francois.
I said leave.
Yes, Your Honor.
Send Constance in.
You disappoint me. I really expected something better from you.
You sent for me?
Yes. Etienne has just informed me of Elizabeth's arrest.
And?
He claims she was killed.
What does that matter? These things happen. I mean...
These things happen? That would be true if it'd been the officers who'd done the killing.
Francois, please. What if it had been her with the pistol and not me? Do you think I would have still been here?
Francois, don't worry about it. It was nothing.
I shouldn't worry. You've just committed murder. That's no small crime.
You think what I did was a crime?
What else is there to say? Just because you say she was a criminal doesn't mean it wasn't murder.
Is that what you think of your executioners as well?
You had no right. How am I to pardon this? Or better question, how am I to condemn it?
Francois, I've done this country a service.
Charlotte Corday thought she had too.
You're seriously considering writing this off as condemnable?
What choice do I have? You had no authority.
No authority? Did the revolutionaries have authority when they committed their massacres? Their uprisings? And you fret over one insignificant killing. Francois, open your eyes. How can the Republic survive if there are men like you who just sit there and condemn every act they deem nefarious? This is a revolution. You can't pretend that there won't be bloodshed.
I don't deny that the guilty have to be punished, but not by you. Constance, I care for you. You know I never do anything to hurt you. But I can't have you abusing your influence like this.
Francois.
No, I'm not finished. You know I'd never arrest you, never punish you, and yet you do this to me. You put me in a position where either I have to compromise my honor and let a murderer walk free, or indict the woman I love.
You act as if I killed someone important. She was a common criminal. And you think your honor is in jeopardy?
What? Have you forgotten who I am? Who I'm supposed to be? I'm a justice. You yourself have said I must fulfill my obligations. How can I do that when I'm so torn as to what to do?
You fool. Whatever happened to your undying faithfulness? Or am I just worth so little to you?
I never said that.
But you're certainly implying it, Francois. If you don't trust me now,
why don't you help me trust you?
You have to know what's important to you. And obviously you don't. Francois, I'm done.
What? What do you mean?
I'm done with you. You're not worth it anymore.
You can't mean that. Constance. No. I'm sorry, I'm not sure what to do. I only want to do what's right.
What's right? When have you ever cared about what's right? When have you ever cared about anything other than your judicial titles and your superiority? When?
That's not true. Everything I do.
It's for yourself. And that's all it's ever been for.
No. I would do anything for you.
Then why can't you just forget this? Why can't you let it go?
Sorry, I couldn't live with myself if we did this.
I think we've upset him.
He's a fool.
And this is surprising.
You realize he's absolutely useless to us and the Republic.
It can't be helped that he has such a weak disposition.
Is that what we're calling unconscious now?
I'd watch what I'd say if I were you.
Yes. You know, you're only here because we can use you for some things.
Guess I'm lucky then.
For now.
As long as I don't tell the truth.
So what are you going to do about the justice now?
Well, I'm not worried about him anymore. I want this to be sent to Monsieur Robespierre.
I'll have someone send it out right away.
I don't care how it gets to him, but it has to be there by tonight.
Well, who is it that I'm to go out and get?
Andre's son.
Wouldn't the justice be angry?
That doesn't matter to me anymore. Really. I mean, he's not going to even be here anytime soon. Not after his delicate emotional state's been so set.
Andre? Andre, my God, I didn't know what I was doing. You have to believe me, I couldn't see. Andre! Andre! You murdering wretch! I'll kill you! No, I'll kill you! Smatria!
How long are you keep doing whatever she wants?
How long are you going to keep refusing to do what she wants?
If anybody else knew about half the things we do, you think we'd last any longer than the end of the week? I mean, even this now, you realize that Monsieur Cell is in the same cell as Corday? How happy do you think our superiors would be if anything happened to the people we had no business to be moving?
Constance is our superior.
In your mind, maybe. But the judge is still above us. One word for him, and we're done.
If he hasn't done anything yet, I don't think he will. Andre Saul.
What do they want with him? I don't know. But it's ill luck that they're taking him out early.
Why?
Because it's very unlikely he'll be coming back.
No, they wouldn't kill him, would they? Not this soon.
They might.
Charlotte!
What was that?
What?
I thought I heard something. It's probably just the guards out in the corridor.
Charlotte!
No.
Someone on the other side?
In another cell?
No.
Charlotte Corday!
You're saying my name.
Yes.
It's a man's voice.
Did you recognize me? It's me. It's Franklin.
Monsieur de Franklin from Cain?
Yes, the very same.
Who's it? It's Franklin. I knew him once.
And you can hear me.
Not very well.
That's better than not at all.
I thought you were still with the battalion from Cain.
I was.
They're not in Paris, are they?
No, I came on my own.
Oh.
Say something.
What do you want me to say?
Anything. Anything you want. What's wrong? Charlotte?
I'm what's wrong.
What do you mean?
I had a choice. I had the choice to stay with you or to come to Paris for Marat, and I chose Marat.
You were only trying to help our cause.
I don't even know if what I did helped anything, or if it ever will.
It will. It has to.
I thought I made the right choice, but I was supposed to do it. I believed in what it would do for so long, but now I'm not sure. I can't imagine what you must think of me.
The same thing I always have.
But I gave you up. I gave you up for all this.
But I never gave you up. I wish I could see you again.
And that was you after the trial?
Yes.
I don't think you'll want to see me. I'm not who you remember.
You were always so extraordinary, though.
Oh, I only seemed that way.
You can't pretend something like that.
You could have had everything, and I wasted it. I pretended like you never meant something to me just to make going easier, and now I regret it. Even when I knew that I'd be coming here, I'd let you be close to me, and I shouldn't have. I'm so sorry. I tried to tell you what I was doing, but you wouldn't believe me. You didn't understand it then. But when you volunteered for the battalion, I thought maybe you finally did understand and that you could move on and never think of me again. You gave me more than I could have ever asked for. You gave me another purpose. Something more than just trying to help stop the madness that Marat helped start. There was a spot for you in my plan. Your battalion wanted to come to Paris, and I would come first and help stop some things from happening so you wouldn't have to. I'd die so you wouldn't have to. But now I don't know what's going to happen. But whatever does, I just want you to be happy. Franklin, you shouldn't be here. Someone might find you.
I almost wish they would.
No, you can't say that.
I'll never forget you.
Franklin, you have to go.
Never, I promise.
I love you.
I love you too.
What in God's name?
Go! Come back!
I've had the city lost its mind! That'll be all, Gustav.
Madam.
Are you enjoying yourself? It must be a godsend to leave that prison.
I might have, had I not been brought here.
Oh, Andre, you're so ungrateful. You should enjoy the air while you can.
I'm sure you'd rather have me choking on squalor. This reprieve isn't for me.
You know me all too well.
Unfortunately.
Oh, Andre, is your opinion of me so high? No, it's remarkable how much you and your betrothed are alike. You see, she thought the same thing.
What do you mean?
Wait, I didn't tell you what happened? Oh, no, I didn't, did I?
Apparently not.
Oh, Andre, what's wrong? You seem so concerned. She hasn't been arrested if that's what you're worried about.
Oh, thank God.
I wouldn't be thankful quite yet. There was a warrant for her arrest.
That doesn't matter. You won't ever find her. For all you know, she might not even be in the country.
Actually, she is.
No. You're lying. I can see it.
Am I? The world doesn't stop moving because you're not in it.
You've never been trustworthy now. Why should it be any different? It's all a lie.
Is it? Then why don't you judge this lie? There were a pair of officers that went out to find out where she was.
But
And they discovered that she was following you to Paris. Now, is that so out of her character?
if you know that she's in Paris, how come nothing's happened? Or does your falsehood unravel at that?
Aren't you perceptive?
I don't understand this. You say she's not... You say she's in Paris, but you've done nothing? It can't be that you don't know where she is by now. So what is it that I'm missing? What's so important that you want me to know?
You think I haven't done anything?
You say that she hasn't been arrested. What else am I to think?
First, there's this. I said there was an order out for her arrest. Well, there was. A pair of officers went out to apprehend her this morning.
But they didn't apprehend her. They just...
You must understand. Francois was very upset with me
he's already lost my favor.
Just tell me, please.
Oh, you're getting anxious. And I'll try not to draw it out too much. Some officers gave me your dress. They said that she was at the La Rue des Morts.
So you went there.
It only made sense to.
And?
She's dead, Andre.
No, you're a liar. You're a liar.
Am I? I can show you if you care to see.
No, you can't do this. You can't hurt me or her.
You see, it was very difficult for her being brought here. But as I said, it was worth it. Just as long as you understand what I've been through because of you!
Oh my God.
Is that proof enough?
Elizabeth.
You didn't believe me.
God, no! Elizabeth! I'm so sorry. It's all my fault. I let this happen. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Do you understand what I've been through? What I go through every day? You won't feel it for long. But I hope that in this short a time, you'll realize what agony really is. The pain never stops. But the world's always been too heartless to care. So why should I? Gustav!
Yes, madam.
Get her out of here.
No, please don't.
You'll have to move, sir.
I'm sorry. Andre.
No! You killed her! What am I supposed to do? You don't deserve any better.
Is that what you'd want? For you to be a murderer? For you to actually warrant death?
I thought I already did!
Then you're looking to just make another martyr out of me.
Far from it.
Did you not hear about what happened to Marita?
That was different!
Was it really? I could kill you right now.
Really? Would you have him dead too? Or has he lost your favor as well?
You see, no one has to die, so why don't you chip in?
I think it's a little late for that. Kill him now! You can't live with this!
No, he'll wait for tomorrow.
He's a dead man anyway. What does it matter?
What matters is what I want!
Constance!
I have waited over a year for this! Now you'll do as I say! Take him out of here!
had a good showing at the trial today. The people were impressed.
Well, I would hope so.
I knew that they'd make the right choice asking you to head the tribunal. I assumed that there'd be some issues, but you two have proven to be quiet here.
Well, I was just surprised that you weren't at the head. I mean, it would be just as much of an honor working under you.
Maybe someday. Although, as for the moment, I have priorities to do. Something wrong, Siobhan?
I was just thinking.
You know, your speech today at the trial was very interesting, to say the least.
Did you like it?
It was clever.
I only tried with my best.
One question does still linger in my mind, though. Don't you get tired of defending all of these criminals and moderates? It must be like fighting a hopeless battle, I would think.
Sometimes, but someone has to do it.
Not necessarily.
Monsieur?
It slows down the proceedings. All the testifying back and forth. I'd rather see things run a little more efficient, wouldn't you?
We all would.
Well, that bit more I would have if he knew that you were defending the woman who murdered him. He never did like you much.
Not particularly.
Did he not denounce you once?
A while back.
That's right. He said that you were petitioning the courts to pardon some people who shouldn't have been let off.
And that wasn't true?
Luckily for you, would have been your head at the guillotine. You're a good lawyer, Siobhan. Maybe you do speak for the wrong side.
A letter for you, monsieur.
From whom?
Madame Constance Ventura.
A mistress?
You know I haven't got one.
Too busy for someone so important?
Monsieur Robespierre, I see it as my duty as a citizen of this republic to point out where error lies. For it's only when the blemishes are done away with that all can work flawlessly. It's therefore vital that I report transgressions of the worst kind, transgressions committed in the very office of one of the republic's magistrates. The justice in question is Francois Juge. He has, by his jurisdiction in times former to his appointment as a tribunal justice, unduly allowed for the release of several potentially dangerous counter-revolutionaries. His pretext for discharging these criminals was that there was insufficient evidence for proper condemnation. I find this to be inexcusable. In these times, we certainly can't allow for uncertainty to drive our actions. And contrary to his statement, there were several verifications to the indictments which were overlooked by the justice in his queries. His shortcomings are alarming to say the least, and I'm fairly certain that at having read this, you are of the same mind. The detriment inflicted by his actions is at this point irreparable, and will be so until a higher power such as yourself intervenes. With only what is best for my fellow countrymen in mind, I sincerely implore you to remedy the problem as soon as you're able. And I must express that I absolutely believe it's imperative there be minimal deliberation and immediate action. However, it all depends on your own judgment as to the appropriate proceedings. I can only urge your haste and respectfully accept what you decide. Constance Ventura.
Monsieur?
It seems that we have an order of arrest to let out.
There are so many things in life you can't help feeling strongly about. People, ideas. But when you look at yourself and see that who you are and who you used to be aren't the same, that they're two entirely separate people, what are you supposed to feel? We all change at some point or another. But what do you do when you don't even recognize who you've become? When you stop and look at yourself only to see a stranger?
She's dead!
What?
Elizabeth. She's gone. I left her to the world and it killed her.
No, you can't blame yourself. There can't have been anything you could do.
No! I asked her to be a part of my wretched life. I told her that I loved her. And I got her killed!
Andre, you can't do this to yourself. It's not going to make anything better.
Then what will? Tell me what will!
Andre!
It was my fault. She was killed because of who she was to me. She was the only reason I was living. Are you happy now? You took away everything from me. Are you satisfied? You have what you want. I've lost everything. Is there anything else you can take from me? Just kill me now. Don't say you want to help. You made it clear that you don't care what happens to me.
That is not true.
Really? What was I to you? Someone to die with? What was she? Just a name you heard in passing? You never cared about me before.
Andre, you're the only one here who's ever tried to understand, who's ever tried to help. I may not have realized that before, but now that I do, you can't expect me to forget it.
You don't understand. It wasn't about me. It was about her. And now there's nothing for me. There's nothing.
Don't say that. It's not true. Andre. No.
Charlotte.
Andre, what did they do? Oh, God. Stop and think a moment, will you? Or you're just going to let him die. Andre! Don't do this.
Then Robespierre wants to send out today.
And by his own officers. We only have to wait for Etienne.
And the justice.
Well, yes, but he'll be here at any moment.
But what if he goes away before you get here?
I'm sure you're very capable of keeping him here.
But what if he'll probably run away if he feels that something's going on.
He won't know a thing until he's dealt with it. And then it will just be the two of us.
And Etienne.
We'll see if we can't rid ourselves of him, too. I'll be right back. Don't let him leave the room.
Constance, I thought you'd be here.
I don't see why.
It's just, yesterday I said some things that I shouldn't have, that I'm not proud of. I'm sorry, I wasn't thinking what I was saying, what I was doing. And I know I hurt you. I didn't mean it.
It's fine, Francois. It's already been forgotten.
Really? You don't know what that means to me. I thought you were going to hold it against me.
I have no reason for that.
Oh, Constance. Oh. See, I was torn. I was torn apart, and I wasn't sure if you would take me back.
I couldn't think anything bad about you. Now that you've done so much for me.
And you're pleased?
Oh, why shouldn't I be? Francois, please.
What? I thought we were all resolved.
We are, Francois. We are.
Then don't pretend that we're not.
Your Honor?
Thank God, Gustav. It took you long enough.
Your
What's
Honor.
this?
Don't just stand there, you damn fool! Help me!
Dan, Gustav, what's this? What are you doing?
We have an order for your arrest.
From who?
Robespierre himself.
What? No, there must be some mistake.
I have the warrant papers right here.
What? No, Constance, tell them they're wrong. Tell them this is a mistake. It can't be right.
Who do you think wrote the letter?
No, this can't be. What? No! What are you doing? Get away from me! Oh, God! No, Tom, this is a mistake! This must be a mistake! No!
I've had enough of this. Get him out of here.
Constance!
So cold. He hasn't moved in hours.
No, it'll be all right. I just have to wait and be patient like before.
Not breathing. There's nothing there anymore.
God, I tried! I tried so hard! There wasn't a thing I could do. Not a damn thing!
I hold him for the guillotine.
It wasn't for the guillotine. It was for me.
Charlotte, I'm afraid too.
You don't have blood on your hands.
I wouldn't have wanted you to think like that. We're all sinners.
Some worse than others. I didn't want to have to see him die this way. Either way, though, it would have been murder.
And his execution not been murder.
This is why I'm dying. For people like Andre. That's my other purpose.
I won't be afraid of it.
What's the point? I couldn't even do something as simple as looking after him. It was all laid out in front of me and I still couldn't do it. I mean, what's come of Burrell? I made him a martyr. I made Andre a corpse. God, is there anything left I could do wrong? Anything left I could lose? I'm not ready for this. I can't go out there. Andre, you gave me hope, a glimmer of kindness, and I wasted it. I failed you in every way a person can, and I'm so sorry. God, forgive me.
I wish this wouldn't come so soon. I don't want you to go. I don't want you to die.
You'll be safe for now.
I almost wish that I could come with you. No child deserves what they do to the people. You don't either. I expect you to be acquitted soon. Don't let them judge you otherwise.
All except the child.
What's wrong with this one?
He's dead.
Let me see.
It's so...
Pity. It seemed the moral of this would be to never give that woman a pistol. A shame. I would have liked to see him dealt with properly. I mean, we could still take him out there, but I'd much rather not carry him. Unless you'd like to.
I can't. And besides, I wouldn't.
Well, then there's nothing I can do.
Will you take another early?
Well, first we'll have to move him. We can't leave him. I'll have to take where it's convenient.
No! No, you wouldn't. She's just a child. She hasn't even tried yet.
They won't know any different.
That's not the point. You'll know.
That would only be a problem if I really cared.
You stop. You can't.
Can't I?
No. I used to think there was something good in what we do. But now I realize I was wrong. I was a fool to stay out this long.
Coward!
No, Winther, you wouldn't.
Would I?
Please, mister!
trying to win my pity?
Don't you have any?
You're wasting your breath, and I'm tired of playing games.
Please, mister. No, I'll do anything. A trial. Please, just give me a chance. Please. Please, no.
Enough!
There's anything I could have done. I would have done it.
Move it!
It's just like my father. Please, no. I always knew it would be. It's just like my father.
All right, move it! Stop slacking, you dogs!
I won't live to see another sunrise. I can't ever touch the next hour. All of these things I gave up. I finally found my purpose, though, what I'm meant for. And it's enough for me. It's the only thing I ever wanted, and now it's the only thing I have. I'm ready in a way I never thought I would be. There are no more regrets, just memories to look at in final moments, times that didn't last. I have a life spent, even fulfilled maybe, and that's all that I need, and it's enough for me.
The year is 1793. Petty crimes are now capital offenses. Those who massacre the innocent are guiltless, and those who are innocent are guilty. But such is the way of the world. The future generations will never know of our innocence. It'll be forgotten that we were only people. They'll never know anything of what we suffered, or of the countless innocent lives lost forever. But such is the definition of injustice.
What have I done?
I might be the director and the writer, but this show would not have happened without these people back here.